You're just gonna keep her in motion, but Kay's not gonna go home. Kay's not going to go home. Kay's not going to go home. I'll just say that. She's a what? I'm so sorry to break the news to you. That's why she got upset. She's What's up, y'all? I'm sorry. I know. No, only that. Well, you asked, we're still experimenting motion, but I'm not tripping over actual ballet. She told me. Why are you crying? Ah. Oh, it's okay.
April 2019, a 22-year-old Sarukian had his UFC debut. Why we've all been
I know.
I can guarantee that most of you watching this video have been told these lies before in your life. Either your school teacher, your parents, I don't know who told you this, but it's false. I don't know why they're telling you. Anyways, the first lie we got on the list today is don't sit too close to the TV because you damage your eyes if you do that. Oh really? Then it must be some sort of miracle how I'm not blinded. I'm sitting in front of a PC monitor, looking at it on 4K. I spend a lot of time watching these videos despite the really low quality. I just can't draw if I like the painting. I'm sorry. Oh bro, everybody's looking at their phone every day. What do you mean? You sitting too close to the TV screen? We practically have a screen in front of our face 24/7 at this point. Like bro, what are you even talking about? I'm looking down at the points I have listed here. Oh, it makes sense at this point. Next up we got feelings is not the answer. Well, sometimes it's not. I'm sorry, but if some dude throws a punch at me, bro, I'm not letting it slide. Like, that's just not happening. I'm not trying to take a 1-2 to the face and then just walk away with a swollen eye, man. Like, I don't want to let that happen. Even if I have a younger sibling or something and they get beat up, man, I gotta protect them. I gotta do the most to protect them. Bro, this things like karate or like boxing exist if violence isn't the answer. You know what I mean? Like, that's just stupid. My teachers would tell me shit like
What's
that
up,
in
y'all?
school, but my dad told me never let anything slide. I was like, Dad, you're right. And when a kid tried to mess with my friend one day, bro, that sounds terrible, but shit, I gotta teach him a lesson. You know what I'm saying? Next up, we got the family pet. Now, I don't know what your parents told you, but my parents told me something along the lines of this when my pet goldfish died. Birdie, I know, it's really sad. It's okay. It's okay. He's in goldfish heaven now. Let's be honest with ourselves. That did not help the situation at all. I was still distraught. I was in tears over my dead goldfish, man. It really was traumatic. But sometimes parents will say to their kids that, like, their hamster Gilbert is out in the wild or something. I know the hell he's not. Like, that dude Gilbert don't get torn apart in the wild. Like, at that point, you might as well just tell him. Gilbert is not making out the mud, bro. He's gonna get eaten alive. He's living out in the wild. Like, really? That's the one I just didn't get at all. The next one, I don't know how I believe this one. I don't know who told me this. It was probably one of my friends at the time. This dude told me that watermelon seeds grow in your stomach. How did that make sense in my child mind? Like, if that was the case, there'd be a bunch of fat people walking around. You know what I mean, Bo? I don't know how the hell I believe this. So every time I did
Hey,
get a
y'all. Alright,
watermelon
y'all.
seed, I would be scared for a couple days.
Today,
It's gonna grow in me. There's a
we
chance.
are playing
I don't know,
Seattle
me and this kid
Superstar.
were like Dumb and Dumber. I don't know how the hell I believed it. Like, my dumb ass somehow believed this stupid lie. Next up, we got school drills will keep you safe. No, they will not. Bro, we just need a different procedure at this point, bro. Like, if the building catches fire, bro, I'm hopping out that bitch, bro. I'm not trying to sit inside and risk my life. Who do you think I am? There would be no birdie videos to this day if my school caught fire and we had to sit there and wait to line up. I'm not doing it.
Ooh,
I'm
look at
hopping
these.
out the window. I'm not taking any chances. And if some boy pull up with a Nerf gun to school, man, I'm not sitting in the corner. Hell no. Like, I'm huddled up with all these dudes that are out here playing like some stupid shit during the lockdown. One time there was this dude who played like pumped up kicks during a lockdown at my school, and we were there for like an hour, so it was a pretty serious drill. So I was like, shit, I could actually die today just because of this kid. If the school threat hears this, one time they brought like this trailer at my school, and we all had to walk in the trailer. It was like the sketchiest thing known to man. We walk in and there's smoke. We're supposed to be emulating like
Approve.
a fire. And they told us
Replace.
stop, drop, and roll. Now I don't know how valid this was, but it sounds really stupid. But you think I'm gonna sit around and test these theories? Hell no, bro. I'm out there.
Approve.
They really think I'm out here playing around. That's crazy. Next one we got eating carrots helps your vision. Again, I don't know how I
Eliminate the goaltending.
my ass was going crazy in the fridge, just fiending on carrots. Despite how gross they tasted to me at the time as a kid, I still ate them because I thought they were helping my eyesight. And every day I would test my eyesight to see if I could read something from far away, and I'd be like, yes, my eyes are actually getting better. No way. I was on a whole other level of dumbassery, bro. How does it get to this point? I was really testing you and everything. Well, actually, my eyesight got 0.0001% better. I was doing the calculations and everything. Next up, we got video games will rot your brain. Oh, really? Then how the hell am I still alive? I would play video games sometimes upwards of like 6 hours a day when I was a kid. I would be playing Mario Galaxy for like hours and hours a day, Mario Kart DS and everything like that. The classics, man, the fire-ass games. You know, I'm a fully functioning human being somehow. Actually, I don't know about that one. But I somehow have a good GPA in school, and I really don't care about it that much, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sweating in school or anything, I'm just trying to get by. The point being, if I was playing too much Plants vs. Zombies as a kid, my parents, and especially my grandparents, would tell me that, oh, too much video games, that will rot your brain. I mean, sure, too much isn't good for you, but it's not gonna rot your brain. I'm glad I actually never believed this lie, but I was smart enough to know it was a lie. Somehow I believed that one, but dozens of other lies, they just went right over my head. Next up we got, you're gonna need math when you're older. No, you're not. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You only really need basic math in your life. That's really it. Like, you don't need any other quadratic formula, geometry, and this other formula. I cannot tell you the last time
We don't care.
I used the quadratic formula. And despite that, I still remember it. Oh, shit. I'm gonna change a tire? I'm not gonna lie, man. I think we're stuck here. But I do know the Pythagorean theorem. It's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Yeah, I don't know how the hell I still remember that. And maybe it's because they just drilled it into my head. Bro, I don't know how to pay my taxes, but I know that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, bro. This shit's useless as fuck. Like, I don't know. Not just math. Basically, most classes. Next one's also school-related. That you need to go to college to have a good job. And I'm not gonna lie to you. That's not always the case. But, you know, if your passion lies there, then go to college. But if not, I'm gonna be honest with you, there's really no point. Half the classes, I don't even know what the fuck's going on. Like, there's some bullshit going on. clearly. But this dude basically put up a video. It was like
Okay,
a
so I'll
parody
tell you
of
what we
Robin
gonna
Thicke's
do.
Blurred Lines,
We gonna
but
let them
except
draft.
there's men walking around like almost naked. And I was like, what the hell is going on in this class? Like seriously, I can't be the only one that's sitting here. So I just looked at my brother and I was like, what the hell is this? We're supposed to be getting a job after this. We're supposed to be thrown in the working world. Like, what am I going to say in my application? Well, actually, I can tell you that Robin Thicke's Blurred Lines. Like, no, it's not going to help me, dude. Next one is you have to wait an hour after eating to go swimming. Yeah, this was a really common one, especially in my family. Because, bro, I was a fiend for that pool. I would be drinking pool water. I don't know why I would drink pool water. I would just do it. I lived in the pool. You bet your ass when I got that pool, I was like staying in it like all day. And you know, if I could go in the pool year round, oh, I would. I would be going in the pool in the middle of a 30-degree winter day. You bet your ass I am. I'm getting my bathing suit on right now. That's what I would have said. If the water was frozen
Gordon
solid,
Hayward.
I would somehow find a way to
So
swim
what?
in the
Let's
water.
take
They just
him.
said this to keep me out of the pool. I get it if it was like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. Sure, that's fair. But an hour? Like, nah, that's way too much, bro. I'm not waiting a goddamn hour. Are you
Mike
kidding me? Next
Conley.
up is stranger danger. Now, in some cases, this one was true, okay? There's some weirdos out there. But for the most part, people aren't dangerous.
Kyle Lowry, 576.
Like, it's crazy. Like, people are going on dating apps and shit and meeting people from Tinder.
Garrick
Honestly, I have my fair
Rose.
share of good
You know what?
and bad
We gonna take him.
experiences with dating app. I mean, half the time when
Go
you use
Rise
dating
up,
apps,
bro.
you'll probably end up back in square one with no girls. And trust me, I can tell you from experience. The apple a day keeps the doctor away. Nah, bro, we cannot be serious with this one. It doesn't matter what I'm eating every day. If I did Nick Avocado mukbang, I'm gonna have to see a doctor. And obviously, I'm gonna have to see a doctor more frequently if I eat like that. But it's not gonna keep the doctor away if I eat a goddamn apple. Even if I was eating a Nick Avocado diet, oh no, I just ate an apple, so everything's good now. Like, what?
Rudy
That one just
Gay.
made no sense, bro.
No.
And for the last honorable mention, we were all told about Santa, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, the goddamn Elf on the Shelf, you know. And the Elf on the Shelf was just an aunt, bro, alright? Like, I don't know what my parents were doing placing that motherfucker in my room at like 12 o'clock at night. Wanna know the video to watch? Watch this video on screen. Anyway. The dumbest ways I got injured. And at this point, viewers of the channel, you all know I was a stupid-ass kid. And there are just plenty of videos across my channel documenting my stupidity. And there were many different ways I got injured that just could have been completely avoidable when I was a kid, and even now sometimes, honestly. Now let's start with some common injuries that I had all the time. Okay, first of all, I'd leave my Legos scattered all over my room, so you already know I was stepping on Legos. It was just mines in a minefield. At 3 a.m., I would just step on one. Then you'd hear the loudest scream you've ever heard in your entire life. Hitting my ankle with a razor scooter. Why did this happen? I don't understand. Every time I would come inside after riding my scooter, my ankle would just be completely swollen, falling off my bike. Yeah, it took me a long-ass time to learn how to ride a bike. And every time I would ride my bike, I would have, like, the craziest wipeout ever. Like, it could have been viral on America's Home Funniest Videos, or whatever that show's called. Like, I have this really steep hill in my neighborhood. I cannot tell you the amount of times I just absolutely wiped
You ever
out,
wanted to
just
trade?
tumbled down the hill. And
What
if you remember, I was fat as hell as a kid, so I was just rolling down the hill, about to get a strike with my bowling ball-ass build. And we've all had, like, those really common and annoying
Give me that, boy.
like biting your tongue,
Yep.
stubbing your toe, or
Yeah,
like pulling
charge
a
now.
muscle.
Clock.
The worst part
Use
about
fast
these
set.
is they
Victor
just
Women
happen
Yama Yup.
unexpectedly. They just catch you by surprise. You don't even know it's coming. And now a place where I
Yup.
get injured a lot is on the baseball team, alright? You know, I used to play baseball quite frequently. I was practicing like almost every day. I was locked in. I was trying to be an MLB prospect. And I was that one kid on the team that would just always get hit by the ball. And it once was so bad, I got hit in the head with a baseball and almost got knocked out. And of course, I advanced bases, so I started trying to walk towards the base. And in that moment, I had the motor skills of a drunk guy, bro. I couldn't even walk in a straight line. And I was just completely seeing stars, and the coaches were like, all right, we're subbing you out. There's no way you're clutching the game for us right now. And I couldn't even catch a ball either if my life depended on it. But regardless, though, I was in the outfield. And every time a ball would get hit in my direction, I'd be like, I got it, I got it. And just like that, my team was scrambling to get the ball as I was delirious as hell on the ground. And I would do a lot of dumb shit like this, for example. You know, this could have easily been avoided. I was like 4 when this happened. But I was looking around the garage, right? And my dad keeps his tools in there. So I was just picking them up like they were an ancient artifact, and I was just so amazed by them. Of course, I was screwing around with them. Okay, that was not meant to be a corny-ass pun. I was just pointing a drill at my brother. I don't know, I was doing some stupid-ass shit, but I got what I deserved. I next pick up a pocket knife. I opened the blade, and I was like, wow, this looks cool, and I just fucking touched the blade. Like, what the hell was I doing? Like, why would I touch the blade? Like, I'm just asking to cut my finger, and that's exactly what happened. My finger just starts uncontrollably bleeding. I'm lucky it wasn't even worse. I could have did permanent damage to my finger. And of course,
Alright, we
I
gonna get the
started
GOAT,
crying. Like,
LeBron
what the hell
James,
did I
greatest
think
of all
was gonna
time.
happen? And my parents just looked at me and probably thought to themselves, wow, this kid's IQ is in the negatives. And of course, there's a lot more
Anthony
negative
Davis.
IQ moments to come. You know, I didn't really pay attention much. I still don't, to be honest with you. And one time, you know, I was just running around the house like an idiot. I don't even remember what I was doing. I think I was playing tag with my brother or something. And the first thing I'm thinking here is, why was I playing tag in the house? There's no room to run around. I don't know, I just don't get it. But then, I just ran full speed into a table. And I just got big bodied by this table, alright? I wasn't even taller than this table, alright? I was pretty short. And I was down on the ground for quite some time. So it was a pretty bad injury. That's crazy that I
This
just got
gonna be the best
absolutely
team.
bruised by an inanimate object. But that was just how little I paid attention to my surroundings. Like a switch didn't go off in my brain like, hey dumbass, there's a huge table right in front of you. As I got older, like in middle school, I started playing football. And now since I got hit a lot with baseballs, you know, I had a stomach pad. I had all kinds of padding. Because apparently I was just a fucking ball magnet. So I had this stomach pad on. And this kid on my team decided it was necessary that my stomach pad, it just needed to be tested. And he himself had to make sure the stomach pad worked. Now when I first met this kid, he would pick on me quite often. So I figured this dude just wants an excuse to punch me in the stomach. He was like, yo bro, can I test your stomach pad? That's pretty much how it went in a nutshell. And then after that, I was just kind of rolling around on the ground for 2 minutes and I could barely breathe. But honestly, getting hit in the nuts is much worse than getting hit in the stomach.
Dallas Mavericks have agreed to our offer. Yes.
I also played flag football. And you know, after
And
this
alright, we
story,
don't
I
need to be in the
think I'm
NBA
having
draft
this. It's just
anymore.
not happening. The center snapped the ball, and I was like, set. Yep, the football hit me right in the nuts, and I don't even think I was wearing a cuff either. For whatever reason, I was just not protecting the care package. But as I continued on in life, I went pretty injury-free for a while, and it was up until my very last day of middle school. And for those of you that never experienced a field day at your school, I'm very sorry for you. You definitely missed out, that's all I'm gonna say. And now at my school on field day, the teachers and staff set up a bunch of like inflatable slides and shit like that, and a bunch of other after embarrassing myself by wiping out in front of everybody and trying to hold my speed. And after that, field day was not really going too great. And after like high school era for a day, I can really only think of a few notable injuries. Now, of course, it snows a lot more. And I think this was like my senior
Alright,
year of high school. You know, I'm not gonna have this
this is
crazy
the best we can do.
build-up to the story.
Kyrie
I
Irvine,
slipped and fell.
let's get it.
I slipped on the ice like a goddamn
D.
cartoon.
Russell,
It
negotiate the
just did not
contract.
look good. The minus
4
I love
years.
Benny Aura meme or whatever the fuck, it just felt real in that moment. The entire class is watching me eat shit on the ice. Yeah, bro.
Austin Reeves, we're gonna get him. We wanna rise up his salary.
Sit in one of those garbage-ass school desks. Yeah, it was over. At this point, I won't be surprised if I end up with a bunch of back problems when I'm old. And now recently, I've been trying to cook. Sometimes things taste like ass, you know, things don't go too well. And I mean, for the most part, my cooking is absolute garbage. If Gordon Ramsay saw the atrocity I was cooking at, let's just say I would get cooked more than I actually cooked on live television. If you guys want to know what I was making, toast. I was making fucking toast. How did I screw up making toast? I don't understand. So when it came time to take the toast out of the toaster, it's like trying to do surgery, trying to take it out without burning your finger. And my finger touched the top of the toaster oven, and of course I hurt my finger. It wasn't anything crazy, but it did hurt for a few days.
Kyrie Irving
Watching
signed.
this video have been stuck
You know what? Let's get Russell Westbrook on there. We'll do him.
Like 2 years ago. And as a kid, I was so scared of bee stings and bees. And I was acting like it was the end of the world if I ever got stung by a bee. Whenever there were bees swarming around outside, I would run back inside, and that was it. I wouldn't go back outside until the bees were gone. But 2 years ago, I was walking at this amusement park, and all of a sudden, there was a bee that just came out of a bush.
You
right
know
next
what?
to me and just stung me in the arm. But after
don't need
the
L
sting
counter.
marinated for like an hour or so, like I was good. Because when I was a kid, I just thought it was the end of the world when you get a bee sting. It still hurt, but it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was. And now, of course, in that exact same summer, which is crazy, I went to the beach for like the first time that summer. And now my skin isn't exactly adjusted to getting that much sunlight because it was just winter 6 months ago. And I used sunscreen then. I don't even know how old the damn sunscreen was, but whatever I used clearly didn't work at all. Because I get to the
Gonna get Chris
and all
Paul.
of a sudden I come home with the skin complexion of a tomato. I really didn't sit in the sun for that long either, for my skin to be burning. And it was so bad that for the next week, my skin actually hurt. Like when I would lie down on my back, it just hurt. My entire body was aching. And from that day forward, I always made sure to put on copious amounts of sunscreen. Okay, that's a bit of an over-exaggeration. But I just make sure that I reapply, or else some bullshit like that's gonna happen. I'm pretty sure it was like 90 degrees out too that day, so that didn't exactly help either. Now this next one was probably my most recent injury. Now this summer I spawn camped a lot of different concerts. And one of the concerts I ended up going to happened to have crowd surfers. Now I've never seen anybody crowd surf in my entire life. Basically what happened is somebody was getting carried behind me as I was just standing watching the concert. And now this dude that they were carrying had the exact same build as Rod Wave. And then this dude just fell on top of me. He hit my neck and then like bounced back off of me. And I looked behind me to see if this dude was okay. But he just wanted to go for round 2. Okay, whoa, pause. But nah, he just wanted to go right back up there. He didn't care that nobody picked him up. And of course, it took like fucking 10 people to get this guy back up there. But then my neck hurt for the next 3 days because he just landed on top of my neck. But yeah, that was the worst recent injury I've had that I could think of, honestly. If you like this video, you'll like the video I made on the dumbest ways to die. It's on the end screen right now. Just celebrities that fell off. There are many celebrities starting from A-list all the way down to Z-list celebrities. And A-list are top of the top celebrities. People that you think of have like a top-notch security team, always ride around in big body Escalades. They get recognized everywhere they go. But when you go all the way down to Z-list, these are people who got like slightly famous for something. Like for example, if you're like a one-hit wonder meme, that would probably put you as a Z-list celebrity. But yeah,
Rivals.
speaking of one-hit wonders, the first one on this list is the Hawk Tuah girl. I really don't know how the hell this went viral. This was already very unfunny to me in the beginning. All she did was do an interview and said Hawk Tuah spit on that thing. One move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time.
You gotta give him that Hawk Tuah and spit on that thing. You get me?
And boom, she went viral. She's a sensation across the world. She's getting on interviews, podcasts. She's gonna have her own reality show. I don't think anybody is going to care what is going on in the Hawk Tuah girl's life. Like nobody knows what her name is. That's what most people in this world know her as. But there was this clip of her like getting on stage at a concert and nobody clapped.
Alright, let's hear it for Warren Saunders and Jelly Roll!
Stop simulation and review.
So yeah, she already fell off. You know, it doesn't surprise me. Yeah, in a lot of those situations, the person ends up falling off. But yeah,
Who are we cutting today? Let's find out. Alright, it's time to find out who are we gonna cut today. And let me bet you it ain't gonna be Derrick Rose, whatever that is. Yep, right here, we are not cutting him. But I'll tell you who we will cut. Release the free agency. Release the free agency. I don't see any use for Kyle Lowry. Release the free agency. Kyle, release the free agency. 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 Release the free agency.
No Diddy instead of no Homer, just because of Diddy, and he was just the reason. All right, the level of zest that this man displayed, it just had to be said. And he also did terrible things to Usher and Justin Bieber, and I'm pretty sure they lived with this dude as well. And Justin Bieber was
Alright,
like
here we are.
14 at the time, and of course Diddy's house got raided, which does not surprise me at all. After all this coming out, yeah, it's inevitable that that's gonna happen. There was also a cars in traffic going on, so his feet is cooked, and obviously after that, everyone's gonna hate his guts. Ice Spice. This is the biggest fall off I've seen in a minute. So Ice Spice was
Okay, so
amazing musical talents. That's why she blew up 100%. There was definitely no other reason.
So,
A lot of people
they are
lately have been talking about
overall
how
rise.
Ice Spice fell off after she dropped her new project.
Kyrie Irving's gonna be in there.
Sold like
AR.
28,000, which is not bad. But in the grand scheme of things, she did lose like
D-Lo being 82, that's a crime.
She had 36 million
Look at
plays
Don
in this
Chet.
year. Her music not even being that good, honestly. Like, it's the type of shit you bump ironically.
Derrick Rose is gonna be on there, so yeah, that's just gonna be it.
Bumping an Ice Spice song. And I mean, these were the lyrics of one of her recent songs. I be shaking and he likes yachts. That was one of the worst bars I've heard in my entire life. She needs to go back to the drawing board, bro. That shit is garbage. There's only so long shaking your ass can be your entire gimmick. She's doing alright numbers-wise, but that shit had to be intense. But now she's losing like thousands of followers every day due to mistreatment of her opening artists on her tour. Allegedly, of course. I don't really know the full story. But as for like my future projections for a career, I kind of see her fizzling out a little bit, but still being kind of relevant, like DaBaby. She's always gonna have those hit songs that carry her catalog, but I feel like later down the line, those new songs aren't gonna be hitting anymore. But let's talk about JoJo Siwa. In 2024, there has been drastic changes in JoJo Siwa's appearance and aesthetic, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Now, JoJo Siwa is an adult, alright, and she no longer wants to be seen as that Dancing with the Stars Nickelodeon girl that she once was. And she rebranded to this atrocity. I don't know what the hell this is supposed to be. I don't know who designed this costume, but this is that. This looks like something I'd see after waking up from a sleep paralysis at 3 a.m. Like, I would just see this in my nightmares and just cower in fear. Like, she changes her aesthetic literally like every music video she does. It's like she can't even make up her mind anymore. I don't really know if anybody's really rocking with her music nowadays, if I'm being totally honest with you. There was a clip of somebody booing her in the crowd and then she crashed out over it on stage. So, you know, that doesn't exactly surprise me. She once made music for kids and now she's trying to rebrand to a more adult theme in her music videos, to say the least. Some people may not fuck with her music anymore. And she also has a TikTok page now where she talks about things like related to her albums or upcoming projects. And I have never seen somebody so obsessed with themselves in my life. She made an entire video showing off her tattoos of her new projects and albums or whatever. That would be like me getting my most popular video tatted on my arm, bro. That is insane behavior. Alright, next we gotta talk about Ellen. Like, it just had to be said, Ellen is no longer airing. And it's crazy because I don't really know who her audience was. I mean, I think it was just like Facebook moms or something. Because my mom would put on Ellen every day I would get home from school. And I think it was around like 2020. Ellen's ratings completely tanked. Nobody wanted to go on the show anymore. No celebrity wanted to be seen around Ellen. And after that as well, it was just over for Ellen. It was just not going to work. But then a lot of people came forward about working for Ellen or just their experience being on the Ellen show. And a lot of people were like, yeah, this was chips, bro. Like, I don't know why the hell I even was on this show. I think it was like the late 2000s, 2010s. Every mainstream figure was going on Ellen. But then when everybody wanted Ellen to break silence on everything happening, she didn't even take the situation seriously at all. And her apology was just terrible. She was throwing in that Facebook mom humor in the apology.
Let me give you some advice out there. If anybody's thinking of changing their title or giving yourself a nickname, do not go with the Be Kind Lady.
But you really gotta take accountability for the shit that you did instead of making stupid ass jokes the whole time. DaBaby. I really don't hear DaBaby a lot in today's day and age. Back in 2020, he was getting on songs with Dua Lipa. He was doing really well back in 2019. Like, he had plenty of motion. He was one of the biggest that he got canceled, and ever since, I haven't really heard one of his songs on Reels or TikTok or anything like that. His top songs are just all old. I don't really see any new songs on here. His old songs are still carrying his monthly listener count. Well, I mean, regardless, I really did mess with the old songs. I haven't listened to Bread in a while, if I'm being real. I'm pretty sure after the whole incident, Dua Lipa made a version of her song Levitating without DaBaby. His new songs are still getting decent plays, but nowhere near where he was before. He's pulling crazy numbers back then. Next, we gotta talk about people that also were around in that era. The Hype House. Literally everybody in the Hype House fell off. Like, I don't hear anything about these people anymore. The last thing I heard about Bryce Hall was him crashing out when he was gambling against, I forget who it was. That was the last thing I heard about, bro. I haven't heard Addison Rae, Charlie D'Amelio, none of them. I think nowadays they still have like a decent following, but at some point these were like the biggest creators in the world. Like, they had the whole TikTok industry in a chokehold. Charlie D'Amelio was even going to get her own Netflix series at one point. I think the show is still going as of October 2023. Got a 2.8 out of 10 on IMDb. Yikes. I've seen like the trailer. I never really watched the show, but just by seeing that alone, like, damn, I already know that shit was that. I mean, if I was in her position, I would just stick to making TikToks. Like, I wouldn't even try to be like this big celebrity. Like, I'm sure some of the people on this list are probably glad they fell off. Like, there's only so much people can do to like handle that level of fame, and it's a lot of responsibility. Like, you can't even walk out of the house without, like, I don't know, TMZ pulling up or getting asked for some kind of interview or getting recognized. But surprisingly, nobody recognized this celebrity anymore. Lil Pump. Well, I mean, to be fair, he went to Japan. So what happened was Lil Pump went to Japan. I forget when this was, but I just remember this happening. Bro pulled up and not a single soul recognized him. Like, to be fair though, if I saw Lil Pump on the street, like, I would recognize him. Obviously, he was in Japan, no one's gonna recognize him, but he was expecting people to know who he was. He's not that big anymore. He had, what, a couple hit songs? That was really it. He was confused, and he made a video saying, why no one knew hashtag Lil Pump in the streets of hashtag Japan. But I think it's kind of because the music he was making was more or less just catchy trash, or at least Gucci Gang was. Most of the songs literally just consisted of him saying Gucci Gang. Well, when I was in middle school, I liked it. Nowadays, the song had my school in a choke. Everybody was singing Gucci Gang. Some celebrities deservingly fell off, and some kind of just naturally fell off after so many years of doing whatever they did. But a lot of celebrities also have meat riders, and I made a video talking about it, and it's going to be on the end screen right here. Just click it. Tipping is a scam. Well, sometimes. When you tip celebrities that fell. Nowadays, I have no idea what they're doing. Some celebrities deservingly fell off, and some kind of just naturally fell off after so many years of doing whatever they did. But a lot of celebrities also have meat riders, and I made a video. Meat rider. A lot of people watching this video right now probably know somebody that's a B1 meat rider. And now, make no mistake, this word has been blown into the ground. Everybody calls people a meat rider for simply just enjoying something. But meat riding is taking it to the next level. It's almost like you're worshipping this person, treating them like they're some kind of god. But they don't even know you like that, bro. But today, we are going over the biggest meat riders of all time. I'm sure some of you may have seen these people, or you may be able to relate to this. I think it's pretty safe to start with Drake meat riders. After the whole Kendrick Lamar beef that Drake got into, these Drake meat riders showed their true colors. Even though Drake obviously lost. I mean, this was the end of his song. He was like, hey, so, it was good exercise to get the pen moving, get the pen working. Like, he lost. It was over a long time ago. Why are people saying Drake won? He clearly lost here. I mean, look at the amount of dislikes on this video. He said he was expecting an Epstein angle. Like, what does that even mean, Drake? You could tell that Drake really got the pen moving and wrote this one himself. I don't think anybody on his team would have heard the words, speaking of anything with a child, let's get to that now, and say, you know what, this is good to drop. Despite that, people are still saying that Drake won. Even academics was like, yeah, Drake, you're losing this one. Like, he lost. It is what it is. You just gotta take the L as a Drake fan and move on. These people are acting like they're fighting on the front lines of this beef. It's not that serious. I don't know what's worse than that.
You know what? We
Drake
gonna play as a
loses
girl.
or the 2016 Warriors. Oh my god, that was horrible. At this time, I was in middle school, and there was a new kid every day that would just walk in with a Warriors jersey. People were just lying their asses off. Oh yeah, you know, I've always been a Warriors fan. No, the you haven't. And how come I haven't seen you with it once in 2015 then? But they had a crazy run. They had Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala. I don't know how to say that dude's name. And now everybody was rooting for the Warriors to make it to the finals, and that they did. And they were up against the Cavaliers. And then they blew a 3-1 lead, and all of a sudden, these motherfuckers come in with a Cavaliers jersey the next day. What happened? Where was that energy before? But you already know they were very confident that the Warriors were going to win, that they were going to take it all. And they ended up winning against the Cavaliers in 2017, so yeah, you know how that goes. But these people had it all. They had room decor for the Warriors. The whole My Team on 2K was the Golden State Warriors. And for the people that actually were a fan of them for a long time, they got called a bandwagoner, a glazer, even though they've been fans of them pretty much their whole lives. I mean, where I was from, that was not very likely. It was almost like as soon as they went to the championship, everybody was just coming out as a Warriors fan, left and right. And as all of you know, this year the same thing is happening with the Chiefs. It's gotten to the point where NFL announcers are glazing Patrick Mahomes. Every instance where somebody seems to make a good play, announcers will say, well, that's what we see out of Patrick Mahomes. But of course, as soon as Taylor Swift starts dating Travis Kelce, all these Swifties are all of a sudden starting to get Travis Kelce jerseys and becoming big Chief fans. But if Taylor Swift broke up with him for whatever reason, they would take that goddamn jersey and burn it to shreds. And of course, the NFL is doing everything in their power to film Taylor Swift at these games. And they made sure that every big celebrity was siding with the Chiefs. To my knowledge, I don't think I saw any big celebrity with a San Francisco jersey at the Super Bowl. Even goddamn Ice Spice made an appearance for whatever reason. And speaking of rappers, the next example I have is when a rapper passes away, people are gonna act like they're biggest fans. Even though before they died, they had no clue who they were. There were some people putting on their Snapchat stories, rest in peace, Juice WRLD, I was your biggest fan ever lived. And I'll never get to be your beautiful face again. Like, bro, shut the hell up. Of course, rest in peace, Juice WRLD. But when rappers pass away, the fakest fans come out of the woodworks, and they don't even listen to their music a day in their life after that. They're just there to get attention for their Snapchat story. And you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Juice WRLD ever. So if I said like, oh yeah, I didn't really like this project, these people would be on my ass. Are you disrespecting the GOAT? Just because somebody doesn't like his music, that doesn't mean they're like disrespecting him in any way. It's just not their taste. You know, like me personally, Sexy Red isn't exactly my cup of tea, right? But you know, I understand that people do like it for whatever reason. This is probably the last thing that I'm putting on Aux. There's meat riders everywhere. They're not just on the internet. They're in real life too. Like in school, you got the teacher's pet. Now when I was like really young, like in elementary school, I was the teacher's pet, as some of you may know. I was that kid, always following the rules, telling people to shush in class. You heard it a million times. But never did I go to the lengths that some of these people go. Like they will hold up the rest of the class to talk about science with the teacher. I don't know. The atom is quite the amazing phenomenon. But let us go, bro. The bell already rang. They will do anything for an A. And these are the type of people that get mad that they didn't get 100 on their test. They could get a 98 and they will go ape shit and just start fucking throwing their desk, flipping out, and beg the teacher for extra credit. Once I got to high school and college, I just didn't give a fuck anymore. I was done with it all, bro. I wanted nothing to do with that shit. I was fine with passing. I didn't care how low my GPA was. And neither did most people. They just wanted to get out. But so many people cared about popularity. So if you were popular, people were gonna meat ride you. Because those people want that popularity themselves. Or, for example, if nobody really knew who you were, and then you finally did something that, like, caught the attention of the school. These clout fiends at school will be on your sack, and they'll be like, bro, you're the GOAT, man. Good shit. And they'll hang out with you all the time. And then all of a sudden, when another person becomes popular for something they did, they'll go to them, and they're just like leeches. changes, bro. It's a cycle. It'll just go from one person to the next. You can't stop them, bro. They will do anything and hang out with anybody for popularity. I never really understood
this
why
broadcast
space
is over.
popularity was so important, because it's just gonna be over soon anyway. I graduated high school a couple of years ago. No one gives a fuck anymore. So I don't know what these people are working for.